Hello YouTube, it is your boy, B3, back with another kicking graphic novel review. Today we're doing a pretty fun one. Yeah, I actually got this on Prime Reading. You should support your local comic shops, buy the physical books from your local comic or bookstore if you have one. They're a dying breed, so they aren't around. But if you do want to read this and you have Amazon Prime actually has a big comics library that you can read for no additional cost if you have Amazon Prime. Which is why I read Captain Marvel Volume 1, Higher, Further, Faster, More. Yeah. Very fun. I've been wanting to review some Carol Danvers Captain Marvel stuff for a while. I actually have all the Carol Danvers Captain Marvel comics that come before this one, but I haven't read them, so I'm kind of starting. Because there are big collected editions you can get for Carol Danvers Captain Marvel called Captain Marvel Earth's Mightiest Hero, and I have the first 2 volumes, and Volume 3, I believe, starts with this story. But this one was free, so I figured I'd read it, and it'll probably be a while before I review Volume 3 of Captain Marvel Earth's Mightiest Hero, because I haven't done the first 2, or even read them. I just have them because I got them for a great deal, and I do have those physically. Yeah, let me read the back of the book here for you. Hero, Pilot, Avenger, Captain Marvel, Earth's mightiest hero with an attitude to match, is launching headfirst into an all-new adventure, as Carol Danvers comes to a crossroads with a new life and a new romance. She makes a dramatic decision that will alter the course of her life and the entire Marvel Universe. But as Carol takes on a mission to return an alien girl to her home world, she lands in the middle of an uprising against the Galactic Alliance and the Spartax. Investigating the forced resettlement of Rocket Girl's people, Carol discovers she has a history with the man behind the plot. But when the bad guy tries to blackmail Carol and turn the Avengers against her, it's payback time. Guest starring the Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, it's rated T14, by the way. Collecting Captain Marvel 2014, number 1 through 6 by Kelly Sue DeConnick and David Lopez, as well as Lee Luffridge. I can't pronounce words, yo. But yeah, it could have been better. I've spoken on this before. There's actually a pretty fun Rick and Morty bit about it, but it kind of starts in the middle of the story. It's a flash forward to the middle of the story that's action-packed where someone gets kidnapped. And I hate when that happens, because it makes me feel like it just makes me feel like the writer doesn't think the beginning of the story will be interesting enough to keep the reader's attention unless they prove to them that there will be something interesting later on. And I feel like whenever a writer does that, it's because they're insecure in their own work. Here's a note to all the comic writers and stuff out there. If you don't think that the readers will enjoy the beginning of your story and you're tempted to use a flash forward, how about you do this instead? Change the beginning of the story. Just change it. Just make it different. And then it goes back to the current time where Captain Marvel and War Machine catch what they think is a missile, but it actually seems to be an escape pod with a young alien woman in it. Captain Marvel as living inside the Statue of Liberty, which is a little weird. Once again, I haven't read her stuff that comes before this. Most of the stuff I've read with her has been team books or crossovers, team-ups, something like that, you know? So I've been exposed to her a lot, but this is really the first time I'm getting into her solo title. So yeah, she does that with Rhodey, fights a little crime with Iron Man. He says he wants an Avengers presence in space, a permanent one. And, yeah. So she goes to space, and she has to tell War Machine, Rhodey, that she's doing that because they're in kind of a secret relationship. Ooh! Their relationship's actually one of the major things that started Civil War II when he was killed by Thanos. I did review Civil War II. Definitely check it out. But yeah, there's also a little fun comic in here drawn by the little kid that's living in the head with her. I don't know the whole backstory behind that. But then she goes to space, and then it shows her in the middle of like delivering medicine or something, and we don't know how she got to that point. And remember, this is volume 1 with issue 1 inside, so you'd think stuff would be better explained in it because 1. You know, and Captain Marvel's actually the character that I usually use when I talk about how I hate comics always going back to number 1. Going back to volume 1 isn't as bad. It's still bad, but it isn't as bad. But going back to number 1 feels even worse to me. For some reason, even though they're the same thing. But she's kind of known that. She's constantly getting new number 1s and slight title tweaks. It's like... So she fights these, like, pirates, sort of, and the Guardians of the Galaxy are there, which is fine. I don't really care about the Guardians of the Galaxy. I want to read more Guardians of the Galaxy because I want to read the run that had Agent Venom on the team, you know, the Marvel Now, and even though he was only on the team for a volume or 2. And I also want to read the Donny Cates run on it as well. But other than that, I don't really care about the Guardians of the Galaxy at all. But yeah, our young alien woman wakes up and there's like a big thing that goes on. There's this bit with Rocket and Chewie, and it's dumb. Chewie's her cat, Captain Marvel's cat. Yeah, lots of the humor in this book I thought fell flat. A lot of it didn't. Turns out when we get to, okay, so the flash forward was of a scuffle and our alien teenager seemingly getting kidnapped, but she didn't get kidnapped. She just went to go get the leader of the planet. So the payoff for that is kind of shitty. The art in the book is good, but we have like the Spartax and Galactic Alliance, and I gotta say, the leader of this poison planet, as they call it, is awesome. I think she's a great leader. I think she's a great character. I love everything about her. But the people on this planet were forcibly kind of resettled here, and now the same government, galactic government that settled them there, the one run by Star-Lord's dad, by the way, who's a big asshole. No, he's not Ego the Living Planet in the comics. Yeah, so now they're trying to get them off that planet, and it's because the planet's killing everyone. It seems to be poisonous, but it turns out to all be a big scam. We'll get to that. But yeah, Captain Marvel is trying to convince them to leave, eventually figures out that that is the wrong way to go about it. You know, eventually. A lot of the side characters in this, I feel like, are pretty forgettable. There's a good Pride community moment. I thought that was fun. I thought that was nice. Star-Lord's dad looks like a real asshole in this book. But, you know, kind of the big thing that they find out, and this is the big spoiler for the end, is they don't want to take him off the planet because it's poisonous and they're trying to help them. No, that's not it at all. They don't care if they live or die. Do you think the Spartax care? Do you think Star-Lord's dad cares? No. It turns out that planet is the last vibranium mine anywhere other than Earth. Yeah. Yeah, and he wants that vibranium. And there's a vibranium poisoning happening because it's not being mined correctly. It's pretty dope. There's like a big scuffle of Captain Marvel fighting in space and her friends fighting on the ground. A lot goes down. They really shame Star-Lord's dad. There's kind of a furry variant. It was a fun book. I did enjoy reading it. I thoroughly enjoyed reading it. That being said, it was kind of just okay. I like Carol Danvers' Captain Marvel a lot, but I didn't like all the Rocket Raccoon Chewie stuff. A lot of the side characters I feel like are pretty forgettable. The story itself was good. The introduction was pretty bad. The entire introduction to the book was pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. It didn't go well. It used a format that I don't like. It's just the way it is. That is just the way it is. Oh well. But that is it for Captain Marvel Volume 1. Thank you all very much for your support. I will now be returning this to the Prime Reading Library so that I can get another comic. That is it. Thank you all once again for your support, and I'll see you all next time.